Whoa, that got big. Sorry, just moving around some stuff. All the hidden overlays and things. That's easier for me to read. As you can see, I'm trying another camera angle, and I already know that I'm going to do some adjusting up at the top where you can see the edge of my monitor and that random cord that's kind of annoying, which I think I can actually fix right now. But I'm hoping that this will be a little bit closer to a permanent position for the camera. I think one thing that would be great is over the next couple of months, depending on how the stream takes off, maybe the first round of donations or any monetary gain is to get a second camera so that I can do 2 views, one from above and then one close up. That way I can have a camera right on my shoulder and then have another one for the overhead, because it seems like I can't get both a good close-up and a nice far-off shot that doesn't have crap in the way, you know? So we'll see. All fun stuff for the future. Dude, saw your airplane. That's pretty cool looking. By the way. Man, I'm doing great. It's going to be a good night. I'm actually looking forward to this. This is going to be pretty sweet. I think I figured out a good way to explain the color modulation method, as well as to put it into practice without going too overboard. Because it's still kind of a new process for me, too. I'm used to doing lots of layering and stuff like that with figure painting, but doing it on such a large surface where you're just accenting what you're going to weather is still a little bit new to me, but I love the idea. Oh no, don't worry, man. I'm YouTube right now isn't even on subscription. I've got a little donation thing set up, but it's for the most part it's you and a couple of other people right now. So you guys are like the first loyal followers. I don't want anything from you guys, man. Nothing at all. Nice, you were working on that yesterday, too. Let me see if I can get that chat color to be a little bit loud or brighter. Because that's kind of annoying. Is it going green for you guys? Yeah. Alright, the text is white. I don't think I can do anything about it. Yeah, everybody's green. Why is everybody green? Whoa. That one's pretty crazy. Huh. Yeah, dude, this is actually a new addition, and it is, construction paper. Yeah, I know. Definitely not doing that. Way too big. Yeah, so I bought a huge roll of construction paper that's black. That is, the roll itself is wide enough. Sorry, it's shaking. I'm taping. The roll itself is wide enough for the table that I'm working on, and then it's like 100 feet long. So anytime it gets dirty, I can just tear it off and put a new one on. And I've got black masking tape coming in so that I can actually mask it around areas and you're not going to be able to see it. And then the black gloves coming in, so everything's going to be like super black aside from the model, which most of our models aren't going to be this beautiful dark green color. So you'll be able to see stuff and it'll be very, very contrasty. And then when we're actually building ones, this is going to pop on the screen, but this huge mat is what I use for building on. It's like just a cutting mat. You can pick these up for like 30 bucks on Amazon. The big ones. They're even cheaper if you get smaller ones. But they're super handy. I just don't like this because it has the grid on it, but I found out I can flip it over and it's just as black as anything else. So, very cool. Okay. Let's get started. So, real quick, the only thing that I did off camera was I added a little bit of green to our mix here, so you can see that that's just a nice green color. So that's what we're going to be putting in the airbrush. However, this is mixed for airbrush. We're going to be doing a glaze. So a glaze is different than a regular airbrush mixture. So the airbrush mixture itself is an opaque color, which means it's solid. So when I put this on, even if it's thin, it's going to be pretty solid as you go it on, so there's no transparent layers, basically. Now, in a glaze, we're going for transparent layers, which means you're not going to see a lot as we start to slowly add layers of color to this model, but what's going to happen is it's going to gradient much smoother, and we're going to be able to control where we want the brightest highlights with the airbrush. I don't know why it starts at a 240p. I think it's because I have it set for the best latency, which means if I do something, then like a half a second later, it's on the stream, versus if I have it set up for lots of less buffering, then it's like 3 or 4 seconds before what I say actually hits the stream, and it's really annoying. So if you guys have any issues, like after it gets going or after you buffer the first time, please let me know, because I can adjust that next stream. But right now, that's the easiest method, because I'm looking at what the stream is going on, like, in front of me. And it's kind of weird when I'm like, hey, blah, 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 and then 4 seconds later it actually does it. It's hard to, like, wrap my head around it. So, the struggle is real. Alright. Let me get the airbrush out of the water. Yeah, that'll be one of the major struggles of your life, man. I actually found a really cool trick for my paints, because I'm in an apartment, so I've got very limited space. So for paints, go on Amazon and start adding some stuff to your wish list. Nail polish holders. I have 2 nail polish shelves hanging on my wall past my monitors on my computer, and they each hold like 40 or 50 paints, and they just hang up there. It is awesome. Best thing I ever found for hanging paints on the wall, and you can get them in shelves, so you can set them up on tables or like wherever you want to. It's just nail polish little bottles. Turns out nail polish bottles are somewhat close to the same size as regular paint bottles. Who knew? So that's the best thing I've ever found. Like, that was my super awesome find last year. Oh, you're growing too big for your loft bed. That's funny. Alright, so to make it glaze, we're going to go back with a flow improver first. I'm adding a little bit more than I usually do. And then we're only going to add a couple of drops. I'm going to start with 5 drops. I'm sorry, I was doing that out of camera. And I'm just going to see what this looks like. Again, we're going for transparency. That's the big key here. I don't even know if you guys can see the paint as it's going on. No. Man, that white is like, woo, super bright. But I cranked up the lighting just a little bit so that you guys can see the green color better. Alright, I think we're going to try this and just see what happens. Also, this handy-dandy vise is like a Harbor Freight vise. So again, like 10 bucks. It is super awesome. Yeah. Well, I mean, I can see it a little bit more than you guys can, because I cranked up the lighting on the actual camera. But yes, and I apologize, you're not going to be able to see this for a little while until it starts brightening up. This is how that layering process works. So I'm just hitting everything from the front. And the cool thing about glazes is that they dry super, super fast. Also, Braden, if you're interested in learning about the airbrush stuff, how to use them, how to clean them, all that good stuff, I will be doing a video this week specifically on just airbrushing. Break down my airbrush. I'll show you my old airbrush, which is a Pache double action that I used forever, which was a cheapo, but worked wonderfully for me for many years. All the mixtures, everything, I'll do it all on camera. It'll be a good 10 or 20 minute intro into airbrushing and how all that works. Alright, let's see. Yeah, you can't really see it yet. I'm starting to see it. I might end up having to add a little bit more yellow to this. It's blending super nice. What's ending up happening right now is this is like a mid-tone. Cool. Yeah, it won't be live. It'll just be a recorded video. I'm gonna do all the shooting tomorrow. And then I may start doing the editing tomorrow night, just depending on timing. More than likely, it will be finished up on Friday. Trying to get a good schedule of like working on edited projects over the course of the end of the week and the weekends, when I'm not busy, so that we've got other content going on aside from just the live stuff. Which, I mean, live is awesome, but the raw part of live some people don't like. Alright, loud noises. Trying to get us dry so we can see where we're at. Yep, that was a weird little flicker. Yes. So, I've got one project that I have on Patreon that I'm working on right now, which is it's called the Orb Ship by Scott Robertson. That is an Industria Mechanica set. I will show you all of that stuff after we're done with the color modulation. So that's going on right now, and I haven't worked on it in a little while, and I need to post some videos for that and get that going, so that there's actually a reason for people to subscribe aside from just getting my reference material. Which, by the way, for anybody watching or watching later, if you want studio or museum pictures of the Fury kit or the actual Fury tank, as well as all of my other reference material for this build and any other build that I do, that's all available on Patreon at the $5 a month subscription level. So that's a great way to support me and get stuff. But also, there's exclusive videos that you'll get on Patreon, which the Orb Ship is one of those projects. So I'm working on that. And then the next build for this YouTube page, that'll be an edited video, so we won't be doing that live, but that's going to be the 1/350 scale USS Arizona. And I have the wooden decks for that. I've got the metal barrels for that. I've got the photo etch kit for that. So basically we're taking that one like completely to the best level that we possibly can, which is going to be amazing. So that one's going to be an edited video that I need to start working on, and that'll probably take a month, I'm assuming, because I can only work on it a day or two. Yeah, this site, this channel is focused on all kinds of models. So we're going to do planes, tanks, Star Wars, sci-fi, ships, figure painting. I think figure painting is one of those skills, if you can master, it'll help you in any field. I've even got a model train engine, an HO scale model train steam engine diorama thing that I'm building. That's huge, but I'm doing it in small pieces, so I'm going to start videotaping that. Like, if you like models, if you like miniatures, dioramas, like anything model making, this is the place for you. Alright, I need to look at my reference material real quick. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to let that sit. We'll put that right there. Let's start working on this guy. And I'm considering masking, but I'm not sure if I really want to do that. I can't imagine. I'm trying to think like how the best way to be would to mask this edge. I think they're just fun to build, Brayden. Like, just the Navy stuff, especially carriers, like the planes. Love the carriers and planes. And the Arizona was just something that, like, I really enjoyed as a kid. I just always, like, that was one of the reasons why I liked military stuff. It's a fun challenge. Oh yeah, definitely. Like, this tank is going to be super weathered, just like the movie. But yeah, they'll be weathering on pretty much everything. Now, certain vehicles require certain different levels amount of weathering, so it's all about being realistic as you can be. That's really important. So, like, the Slave 1 is a really, really, really dirty ship, so that's why it's super, super weathered. But another ship might not be as weathered, and that's a different technique, so you'll get to see lots of different techniques on that kind of thing. Do I know Panzermeister? No, I don't know the name. If you tell me what it's in relation to, maybe that'll help. Yeah. Panzer, I know of as a tank. Panzermeister, is it a specific thing? Or a person? Oh, he does German tanks. As a YouTuber. Panzermeister. Man, I have done some searches and I don't know if that's come up. I'm guessing he's popular? Kappa? Decently, okay. Yeah, so far the one person that I found that is the most popular is Plasmo. And he's great. Plasma does military, planes and tanks mostly. He just did a random Boeing for some reason. Yeah, I know. He's great. He's one of the reasons why I decided to do the channel, because he's Italian, so he doesn't talk very much. And I'm like, well, if you've got that kind of talent, which I don't want to toot my horn because I haven't done this as much as he has, but I feel like I've got the talent for that. Like, but you can actually like teach and talk and stuff. Like, how cool would that be? And that's kind of one of my thought processes. Like, I really like his work. All right. We're just going to have to do this carefully. Nice. Yeah, that's one thing, like, that's really cool. Like, to be 100% historically accurate, but I also think it's good to enjoy it, because there's not a lot of people that can, like, hey, let's buy $100 to $200 to $300 worth of extra kits to make this one kit super accurate. Do what you like, you know, that's the big thing. So, you know, on this channel, we're going to get detail kits, and we're going to make them all awesome as much as we can, but, like, I'm never going to say that something is, like, exactly accurate to the way that it would have been right off the floor, the manufacturing floor or whatever. And I don't want to, you know? I just want it to be fun. And if we get to add a lot of cool extra things and make it more and more accurate, then great, you know? Alright, it sucks doing this stuff by hand, but it is possible to do. And I am pretty sure we're going to add a lighter shade to this, because I know that this is probably really hard for you guys to see here. I think I'm going to call this the middle shade. Oh yeah, for sure. And that's something that I really want to get into on the show too, is the scratch building side, but not necessarily on the like buy a bunch of plastic portion. I do 3D. I'm a 3D animation for a living, so I am interested in a 3D printing side, designing parts for 3D printing, and I can show you guys how to do that for free, or not for free, not to print, but to design, you know. Oop, out of paint. Yes, I do. I don't have a really good one at my house, but I've got a really good one at my office. I've got more of like a little bit better than a fun grade, but nothing that I would use for a model. I would use it for constructing diorama pieces for sure. Not like buildings, but like building blocks. It's great for that. But the one at work is, I could build anything out of it. It's production ready. Yeah, I think that would be really cool. So that'll be added at some point. First things first, though, is just to get a good schedule going where we know what's going on every week, and then we'll add stuff to it. So there's this little bevel, and I'm taking advantage of it. You can kind of see where the I'm using the card to make straight lines. I could tape this, but I don't want to tape it, so I'm literally just using the card as if you would for masking tape. And then I'm freehanding where the shadow of the back of the tank ends and how that gradient looks. What size nozzle is on the airbrush? That is a 0.2. It is recommended for most model making to use a 0.03, but my brush is a Harder and Steinbeck brush, and it does not come in 0.03. This brush needle would be wonderful for enamel paints or any alcohol-based paint. It's a little bit trickier with acrylic-based paints. Alright, so I'm running through these last coats. What kind of paint is in Hobby Lobby? That'll be Testers, Model Master, and Vallejo. So if I were to do painting at Hobby Lobby, I would get the Vallejo. That would be my preference. I'm not a big Testers, Model Master guy. If you're gonna go enamel, then Mr. Color or Tamiya is your best choice, and you just have to order that stuff. Yeah, I think you're exactly right, Kappa. Okay. So I'm going to let that sit. And what do we need to lighten? I'm going to wait for the highlight for these. Actually, let's do a little bit of a low light here. We're going to get maximum contrast off the wheels. So I'm not going to use this mid-tone for the wheels. Yeah, Testers is enamel. And there is a major difference between enamel and lacquer. They use two different thinners. It's good to know. Come here. Oh, by the way, how loud is that compressor in your ears? And how loud is my voice? Do I need to turn my voice down? I was re-watching some stuff this morning doing some editing, and I was like, wow, my voice is really loud in the live stream. So I turned that down a little bit. But I didn't know how loud it was. Voice is louder than the compressor. Is the compressor annoying? Okay. Yeah, just let me know, because I don't have it figured out yet, but I'm gonna figure out, like, touch controls, like keyboard controls, for a lot of stuff, so I can mute the, my audio whenever I want to. Okay. So what I'm doing here for this guy is I'm gonna do what's called a zenithal highlight, which means I'm gonna pick a direction. Let's just use this to show you. So if this is dead on here, my direction is going to be straight down at it from above. That way, when it's on the tank like this, that highlight is right across the top. So we're going to put the midpoint all the way across, and then we're going to go a little bit lighter, and possibly with some paint with the absolute brightest one. Thanks, Braden. I'd say it was mine, but it's not. But yes, I like it too. That's the kind of music I like to listen to when I'm working. And it's the only thing I can hear in my headphones, which is great. I would hate to hear my own voice talk in the headphones. Oh yeah, classic rock is awesome. Workout music. What grade are you in, Brayden? Ninth. Awesome. Dude, you were at the perfect age to start model making, like, all the time. I started when I was about 8 years old, which I'm assuming that you started when you were pretty young, too. Like, with the technology these days? Woohoo! Oh, you both. You both are going to be really, really good. Like, this is the time. Well, you've got school, and you can come home and spend hours. Like, I remember when I was in high school, I built a Civil War battle scene using 1/72nd scale figures, the Battle of Antietam, and it was massive. It was like a 4-foot big battlefield. Hand-painted every single one, no airbrush, hand-painted. Just sat there and painted forever and ever and ever, and it was awesome. Those days are gone now, but maybe coming back, you know? Yeah, dude, it was awesome. I'm like so sad that I took it apart and never kept the figures, because the figures were so cool at that size, so small and awesome. Like, I've got a little box of a bunch of stuff that I made when I was a kid. Probably right around your age, actually. And those aren't in the box. So I'm like, why did I not have those? Such an idiot. Airfix Hurricane. Nice. The Battle of Britain. I started with a Huey Vietnam helicopter. That was the very first model kit ever put together. Okay, it's time to go lighter. Ow. I'm actually gonna do something kinda crazy. It might seem crazy, but it'll work. I'm sure the hardcore guys might get irritated at this, but hey, we're doing a highlight color modulation, so it's not exactly accurate anyway. Moth green. Look how bright that green is. Yeah. It's a gaming color. So for wargame miniatures, man, some wargame miniatures, they get all the cool colors. I've got so much paint in here, it's going to be hard to get it to lighten up. I might have to get rid of some paint. There's nothing wrong with losing some paint. Like, in your mind, it kind of sucks. You feel like you wasted all of that, but it would take us forever to get the brighter color if we just kept on mixing with so much paint in there. So away it goes. Well, hopefully it's not neon, because I'm pretty sure the RAF color isn't. That would suck. Just adding some of that marigold yellow in there just to brighten it up a little bit further. Alright, let's see what this does. Try to work on those highlights a bit more. Let me... clean out the gun a little bit. Again, I'm only using like 5 or 6 drops. The new Mountain Dew. I don't drink soda, actually. It's not a religious thing, it's just I never grew up liking it, so now I still don't drink it even though the taste is alright. Alright, let's see what this looks like. Alright. Hope for some good stuff. I'll start on the easy one. So much shaking. I should probably think about not mounting my camera to my table. I think that might just be the color that we're after. That's definitely going to get us a bright front. And we're going to come back through with a brush and do some more highlighting. And we might even do a lighter highlight with a brush, just on top of the pieces. But I think that's looking pretty good. So in the form of color modulation, you're not as much paying attention to the light source as much as you are breaking up the surface. So we're going to go ahead and do this entire ring. Oh, that sucks. It is always a bummer to lose the varnish. Alright, so the front's going to have a little bit of an interesting variation just because I've decided that I'm not going to put the light color in the back. I'm actually going to put it in the front where it's supposed to be. So it's going to have two. West Point, New England? Like West Point, the Army Military Academy? Oh, Nebraska. I think it's looking pretty darn cool. I'm just trying to go as complex as I think I can, so I'm continually looking at references of Sherman's, looking at where we can push the color. We still need to do this part. So you notice I'm just hitting the upper part. I'm trying not to get this shadow area, and I'm definitely not touching anything down here, which is all mud, nasty, dust, shadow. You definitely don't want to do any color modulation down there. So you notice as I'm doing the gradient, I come down pretty far with that first coat, and then you instantly just go back, and then you don't really touch that coat until you can see what it's doing. It only works with transparent colors. If you don't use transparent colors, then it's not going to gradiate, because it won't dry with that fade. You know what? I don't know. To me, it would be hard for me to imagine. Maybe that's another reason for doing this. To show how cool it is. You know, it's also one of those things like, back when I was in school, like, comic book kids and nerds and stuff like that weren't respected and well thought of at all, and now, like, everybody loves the Marvel movies, and generally speaking, most of the stuff that was considered nerdy or not cool is much more in. You know, tech people are in now, like, all that kind of stuff, so it just needs to be presented in the right way. That's kind of what I think. Like, people have to realize that it exists and that it's really fun. I need a new card. That one is not treating me well. think we're almost done with this body, as far as the airbrushing part goes, for the color modulation. So we're going to come back with a brush and do a lot of the other work, which is just going to be the tops of a lot of the detail pieces. So let's go look at this thing again and see if we can't punch this up a little bit. I don't actually, I'm sorry. I'm not a big crime drama person. That might dry a little weird. I've got a little spot right there, but we'll see what happens. NCIS was like it's a cable show, but yeah, it's definitely on Netflix. I don't know why I'm laughing. Yeah, oh, it's good. Definitely. I'm just not a big sorry, there's no point in watching me. You guys want to see what's going on. I just don't do crime drama as much. Yeah, I watch a lot more war stuff, period stuff, story. I like story when it's not repetitive. Oh yeah, man, Band of Brothers is like one of the best shows ever made. I have to watch it at least once a year. I'm not even gonna try. So we're gonna take these in stages just because it's a glaze, it's gonna dry darker. So we're just gonna get them nice and wet, and then we'll let them dry, and then we'll go back to them. Alright, you guys see how much is in there? So this is a pretty thick glaze. And that's all that I'm adding. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's it. Oh, and the tiger? That would be an interesting diorama. My original thought, I was thinking about this yesterday or today, was it would be cool to do, you know, the last scene, obviously, where the tracks fell off and they had to fight to the death and only one of them survived. It'd be cool to do that crossroads, have the tiger sitting right there in the middle of the crossroads in the mud with one of the tracks busted up. Bullet shells everywhere, and then just a bunch of dead Germans all over the place. And that would be the scene. But I looked it up, and there's not a lot of just straight-up dead Germans that you can buy kits for. So I'd have to kit bash all of it. So I'm like, maybe, maybe not. I'm considering it, though. But no, that would be a great diorama. It'd be a big diorama, too. I do want to do a tiger. Come here. That'd be a little bit too big, the 4 tanks. Space is a premium. I'll show you guys the biggest base that I'm going to work with aside from very special projects. See, I think the only problem with doing the diorama with the Panzer tank is that I might not be working on a tank for another month or two. Because after this, we're going to do the P-38 on live. And then I'll probably spend a week or 2 weeks doing a figure, so that you guys can see what a figure looks like done live. And then we might go back to a tank. Kind of depends what everybody's in for. Oh yeah, P-38 is one of my favorites. The Corsair and the P-38 are my favorite planes, so we're going to do both. I want to get the best Corsair that you can buy, because that one would be so much fun. I'm actually going to do a medieval knight from the Crusades, a large one. I'll show you guys a different side of the hobby that you've probably never seen before. Okay, Corsair and Spitfire, nice. This is a good track. Dudes, I think we're almost done with the, I think we are done with airbrushing. Yeah, that would be a fun one. I do think doing dioramas might be popular, so that'd be fun. It's something that you don't really see a whole lot on YouTube, is actually doing the scenery and everything and putting it into a complete diorama and actually making it good. Even with the model train guys, I don't see very much very many like actually well done scenery dioramas. So I am down for diorama. Have you seen the Dunkirk movie? Heck yes. I saw it in theaters the weekend it came out, of course, and then saw it in 4K just a couple of weeks ago, actually. That movie is epic. That movie makes me want to get a Stuka, the dive bomber, or yeah, Junker Stuka. That Stuka sound, that screaming sound, is insane. Alright, sorry. Behind the scenes, or in front of the camera, behind the camera, I'm just cleaning. Cleaning the airbrush really quick. Where's my water? And then we're gonna switch to the brush. All right. No more airbrushing tonight. All that stuff up. And let's grab... We're gonna grab the... Oh yeah, I know, right? Alright, so in case you didn't know, the, in my opinion, best paintbrush that you can buy on the market is the Winsor & Newton 7 Series Kolinsky Sable paintbrush. It is a game changer as far as paintbrushes go. Absolutely love, 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 love them. They hold their shape, they have a very fine point. Super, super amazing. So now we're just going to take our light mixture. And we're going to start highlighting. I want to put this in a cup so I can see it. Pulling out a palette that you guys can't see. I'm just putting some paint in there so that I can easily dip the brush. Look at that. These things are going to get so muddied up, it's not certain what's going to be seen. But I think it's still good to put the effort in to add some extra contrast. Market Garden was a very interesting situation. I always found that one fascinating. We'll definitely come up with a really cool diorama, to be sure. I love them. Space is a premium, though, at least for now. So they'll have to be small. Cool, Kappa. See you back in a couple. Do I have a family? No, it's just me right now. I mean, I've got extended family. I've got brothers and sisters and mother and father and that kind of thing, but no wife, no kids right now. I spent too long doing other things. I'm still quite social now. But I went through a few years of not being so social. It's better now. Yeah. Keyword right now. You never know what the future's gonna be. Nice. So do you guys video game? What kind of video games do you guys play if you do play games? Battlefront 2, I just got that for PC. I'm looking forward to playing it when I finish my modeling work on Saturday. War Thunder. Oh yeah, I've heard of that one. Hey, Wii's are pretty cool, man. Trying to hit all these little tiny bolts inside. See him in there? Yeah, I like the Wii. Oh, GameCube, nice. I remember those. Those are cool. First blazing angles. I don't know that I've heard of that. Blazing Angels. Oh. Blazing Angels, Blazing Angels. Still trying to think. The name sounds familiar. It's a pilot war game. Yeah, that's what I was thinking in my head. Man, I can't wait till technology gets advanced enough where we can buy motion chairs to go with our VR and then hook up a joystick to your computer and really fly. I know that people have made like custom units, but it's not like a thing. I would love it to be a thing. When I graduated high school, I went to the Air Force to be a pilot. That was my goal since I was like 8 years old. But I hurt my back and couldn't stay. But that is all I wanted to do my entire childhood. But it was pretty cool to be in the Air Force for a minute. Nice. Do you want to fly, or do you just want to go? Thanks. No action, just officer's school, but still. I was just thinking about this today, actually. I think it would still be fun to get my pilot's license. I bet I could do all the book and test part before I have the money to go get the actual hours. Because this is an expensive process just to rent the plane to fly and to get the instructor, but I can do all the book stuff myself. Well, I think that'll be a big problem, Brayden. You'll definitely have to get over your fear of heights. If you guys have a mall that has that Sky High place, I don't know if you've heard of it. The big wind machine that makes you feel like you're skydiving. If you want to be in the airborne, you should definitely get used to going to that place. I can't imagine that there's a whole lot of people who don't like falling from heights. Except maybe, like, Special Forces guys who don't care about anything at all. Those guys, I'm sure they're not afraid of anything. Or they know how to control it. Well, good luck, man. Do you want to go in as an officer, or do you just want to enlist? Well, if you want to be an officer, just make sure your grades are good. Hope this is not too boring. I know it's a lot of repetitive stuff, but it must be done. See how I'm kind of actually highlighting the highlight there. Well, there you go. I think regardless, it'll still be pretty fun. That's true. There's one done. So the easiest way to paint these details is with the side of your brush, not the tip. So just remember that. Dang, that's crazy. Wow. It's a great story. But wait, there's more. Do tell. Yeah, I would think not. Wow. Oh, sorry, off screen. Wow, this is intense. Alright, man. Yeah, if you want to. That's a good story, though. I mean, I'm ready. I'll listen to the rest of it if you want. So tell me this. This is a guy that you know? Or this is just a story that you know? Yeah, definitely. Well, it's a pretty crazy story. To be sure. How's our time? 10:30. Trying to go a little bit, I guess, an hour late. I'm probably gonna always go somewhere around an hour late. I don't know why I say that I'll be on for just an hour. Can't really accomplish a whole lot in an hour. But I'm trying to get all this stuff done, so you guys can see it, but aside from the Huey crashing with him in it, yeah, it does kind of sound like Lone Survivor. Another great movie. Horse soldiers. Or, yeah, something like that, or the number 12. I forget. With Thor in it. Looks awesome. There's no reason why I painted the edge. It's actually going to be painted dark and steel anyway, so that was dumb. 12 strong? Is that what it is? No, not the wheels. The rollers were, all metal, my friend. This is a solid piece of metal. So, as the track gets pulled by the gear, which is this, it runs over these. So it would have been all this edge would be worn steel but fresh. So it's not going to be like super rusted or whatever, because it's constantly in use. So use a different weathering technique on the edges of the wheels. Rubber black? That'd be interesting. I definitely wouldn't do rubber black. Rubber would not make it. Not in a tank. Now, if somebody's watching me that proves me wrong, I could be completely wrong as far as another type of tank. I know that these wheels, for sure, never had any rubber on them. Yeah, some of them. These are all wheels and rollers. I think these ones are all part of the suspension, I believe. The ones with the smaller, yeah. Alright, we're gonna assembly line this. Ah, there you go. That's completely possible. I don't know actually anything about modern tanks. Most of my history is, or my military love is World War II and World War I. So I haven't really studied a whole lot of the modern stuff. So that'll be something new when we start doing models that are more modern. Yeah, I do. It's written down somewhere. 76 millimeter. Try not to make a mess here by not spinning these around. Oof, that's crazy. It's got to be a very expensive tank. As soon as I finish this row of wheels, we're going to put the main tank body together before you guys have to go. I know we're coming close to... crap, 11 o'clock my time. Oh, I'm way out of camera. So for my lack of knowledge in modern armor, what modern tank is being produced right now? Okay. That makes sense. Yeah, I'm the same way. It's one of those things that, like, once I get to it, I'll study it. But it was never a big interest when I was a kid. I was always much more into World War II or Civil War or something like that. So many wheels.
And if the sky falls down on you, just beat it up before we collide. Let's make it last forever. I'm ready to fly before we collide. And when the sun goes
So next week, I'm thinking, obviously we'll have to finish painting any of this crazy stuff, but then we've got all of our accessories and guns to paint, and then it's time to get everything installed before we start working with the oils. Yeah, that's true. Most of them weren't.
let's make a run together. I'll be by your side before we collide.
Oh yeah, I don't know what I'm talking about. I'm supposed to put this together so you guys can see what this looks like.
I'm ready to fly before we collide. And when the sun don't shine on you, just heat it up before we collide.
Come here, big guy. There we go. Need to glue that in. Let's move that out of the way. It'll be cooler once we get all the other pieces on. But that is a color modulated Sherman Tank in Fury dark, dark, dark colors. Pretty spiffy. Alright, so behind the scenes, I'm going to finish all these wheels and get the rest of the contrast colors done, get the wheels installed onto the carriages. They're not going to be installed onto the tank, obviously, yet, but we'll get all that stuff done. And then when we come back next Monday, we will start work on the all the accessories, all the tools, all the stuff that's going to go on the tank that's clipped in. That'll matter for oil painting. We'll still leave all the bags and stuff like that off, but we're gonna add some accessories. So thanks so much for watching, guys. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you so much for you guys who are live and chatting. It's been so much fun this week. Really, really enjoyed it. If you are watching the replay, thanks, Braden. I'll see you next Monday for sure. If you're watching the replay and you like what you saw, please like the video and subscribe so you guys can join in part of the chat and we can get to know you. And aside from that, you guys have a great, wonderful rest of your week,